Well, guys, you're back on the couch with Hades. Welcome. Today's Saturday. Some date in July, I don't know. 17th, 15th, 19th, 38th, I don't know. Anyway, today's video is going to be unscripted because it's just kind of I'm not going to say a rehashing, but just a recount of what's been going on the last couple of months in La Manada Cerberus, the Cerberus Pack, and here in Cerberus House, because we've had drama, betrayals, blah, 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 within the pack, within the leadership of the pack, unfortunately. And yeah, I had to make a few changes. I won't go into way too many details because it's fucking boring. You don't know any of these people. That's even more boring. Long story short, we are, like I mentioned before, we are currently in Cerberus House. I live in a 4-story building, 3-story building. There's only 4 apartments in this building, which is nice. I maintain 2 apartments, one upstairs from us and one downstairs where we are currently seated. And this apartment that I'm in is known within the pack as Cerberus House. This apartment is used for our meetings, our parties, our get-togethers, dinners, celebrating birthdays. We just celebrated one last night. Muchas felicidades, Alexa, otra vez. Gracias por venir y convivir conmigo. We hold workshops here. We'll be doing a lot of stuff here. This is kind of like HQ for the pack. And also when other pups are visiting from other cities, they're welcome to stay here for the duration of their visit. You know, why pay for a hotel if you don't need to, right? You know what I mean? Use that money for drinking like an adult. What the hell? I'm kidding, kids. Don't drink. Alcohol is poison. It's gross and it makes you do stupid shit that you regret in the morning. And sometimes some fun memories, but you know, whatever. I digress. So anyway, a few months ago, March-ish, I had invited my previous beta and his husband, our Omega, to stay here, you know, move here, live here, not pay the entire rent because I was still using the space for my purposes as well, but the expectation and the agreement was that they would pay half the rent. Excuse me. Don't smoke, kids. Another nasty habit. And it was fine. I really, one mistake on my part, and I'll accept responsibility where I need to, where it's due, where it's on my shoulders. I'd really only known them since January. Our previous alpha introduced me to them last year in December at a party of his. And the beta, and I'm not going to say their names because they're fucking dead to me. I don't care. You don't fucking exist to me. And yeah, I'm going to sound angry and a little aggressive at points. I'm still fucking angry about some shit, okay? I'll get over it. I will. I promise you. I hope that motorcycle doesn't get over it. Asshole. Anyway, I will get over it. I always look for a silver lining. I always look for, the opportunity of any situation where I can learn something, grow, be better as a person, make things better for my pack because, let's be honest, I'm the alpha of this pack and I take that very seriously. This is not a hobby or a weekend kind of thing. You know, we're not weekend warriors or weekend puppies. I'm a puppy. I'm always a puppy. I'm not always wearing the hood, but I'm always a puppy. And as the alpha, I'm always thinking about the pack and what we can do for the pack and how we can make it better and how we can, just different things that we can do, I can do for my pack because I love these guys. They're second family for me. And, you know, we're 17 people. Yeah, we're 17 pups in the pack right now. Spread out across 2 cities. Nope, I take that back. 4 cities, 3 countries. We have a pup in Chile. We have most of our pups here in Mexico. Most of our pups are here in Mexico City. We also have pups in Veracruz. And we also have a pup in Chicago, Illinois, in the United States. So, you know, it's a pretty good group to manage. So anyway, I had invited the previous beta and his husband, the Omega, to move into this space, blah, blah, blah. Things were fine at the beginning, like most stories that go awry, right? But then I noticed, unfortunately, some traits and some personality defects, I will call them, about the beta I didn't agree with. And frankly, I didn't like him. He got on this power trip because he was the beta. Dude, that's not cool. That's not what this is about. Beta, alpha, omega, any of the ranking members of the pack, I don't want any power trips with any of them. I certainly don't do that. I don't like that behavior. This is not a dictatorship. This is a democracy. We're a democratic group. Every pup has a vote and a voice, and they deserve to be heard, and they absolutely will be heard with me as their alpha. I won't say I'm 100% non-biased, because who is? Come on. But I try to keep an open mind in my dialogue and discussion with my pups. I listen to what they're saying, and I am mature enough, I'm really mature enough, fucking old, I'm mature enough to evaluate what they're saying, and if it's a better idea or it's a better plan than one I've come up with or whatever, I absolutely have the maturity to say, you know what, you're right, let's go with your plan. Your plan is a lot better, it's a lot more refined, I like this and that and this and that about your plan, and it's just better thought out than the one I had put into place. So that's the kind of person I am. It's the kind of alpha I am. I don't lose my temper often. It takes an enormous amount of effort and work for you to really just piss me off to my core. Even then, I do not resort to bullying, punishment, or threats. I don't do that. That's not leadership. That's garbage. That's shitty behavior, and you're an asshole. I'm not an asshole. I try not to be an asshole. That's never my intent. So anyway, I noticed some things I didn't care for in the beta. He was exhibiting behavior that I did not like at all. There were a few things that I will not go into for legal reasons, because none of this has been zipped up yet, all nice and tidy. I will be zipping it up soon. Trust me on that. Anyway, just some things that I didn't care for, and things that just were unacceptable to me for that pup in the position of beta. So I decided, and I started to think about replacing him as the beta of the pack. Neither me, the beta, previous beta, or the omega, previous omega, had a sexual relationship. That was not what our relationship was about. We were friends, family. You know, I considered these guys my brothers, my little brothers, because they were literally half my age. You know, and it was just unfortunate, and I knew what had to be done. I've known it for months. Yes, I was slow to act on it. I should have acted faster. But then about a month or so ago, also another issue between the three of us was they owe me currently a great deal, a large sum of money. And it's the constant, you know, oh, Alpha, can you spot me 200 pesos for an Uber? Or blah, 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 blah. And this was every other day, you know? 200 pesos is not a whole lot of money to me. But when you multiply that by, a few times a day, there are 7 days in a week, that shit adds up after a while, right? And so I had decided enough. I had been paying, half the rent here. I had been paying the electricity here, and helping them out when I could. Cell phone service, that kind of thing, paying those kinds of things. Not on a normal basis, but if they needed help, I was there to help them. And it just started adding up and adding up. And finally I decided, look, I just can't do this anymore. And so I sat them down and had a conversation with them that this is not tenable. I can't continue just throwing my money into a black hole because it keeps growing and growing and growing. And no one is mentioning any kind of plan to pay me back. This goes back to March of this year. We're in fucking mid-July, toward the end of July. It's a long period of time. So anyway, a lot of things started swirling and culminating. I had to replace him as the beta. I knew this was going to be dramatic. I knew it was going to be an issue. And as soon as I had the conversation with him about the money and about him being the beta, shit went south. He started being a real cunt on all levels. He was absolutely rude and just abusive, not, verbally abusive, to basically all the pups in our pack. That's unacceptable. We had this conversation when they agreed to be in this space and have this space also serve as Cerberus House. Cerberus House is a safe space for everybody here. Everybody. No exceptions. Everybody. Behavior that makes someone feel uncomfortable or behavior without someone's consent, there's a zero tolerance about that. We don't accept that. And it needs to be corrected immediately. Not always saying, if you fuck up here and there, you're going to get kicked out immediately. Because that's not the case. I mean, I'm always more interested in dialogue and resolution than I am with, get out. That's not sustainable. And that's how I am. So, anyway, it was coming to a head. We had been working a lot of hours, really hard on producing our first official event as a pack, a public event as a pack, and that was our Pride Party in June. We had secured a venue, a bar in La Colonia Centro, and they were nice enough to donate that space to us, and the DJ, the bartenders, the staff, and everything on the Thursday right before Pride, which was on Saturday. That's pretty amazing. So we had an awesome event planned. I poured a lot of money into this event. I was the only one pouring money into it because I wanted to host this event. Yeah, the public was invited and they were welcome. But this event was primarily for my pups in the pack. That's what I wanted. I wanted us to celebrate as a pack at an event, and it was special, and it was good. Unfortunately, that's kind of also the day that things came to a head between my beta and I and exploded, resulting in me asking them forcibly to vacate my property. This is my property. Here in Mexico, things are different, thank God. All I needed to do to evict somebody from this space is take my signed lease that only has my name on it. Their names were not anywhere on anything. Take that to the police station, show them that document, explain the situation. They would then accompany me that day, back to my property to physically evict those individuals from my space. That's a final and really nasty act, and I did not want to do that. So I told them initially, this was, and it wasn't just everything coming to a head on that Thursday, the 25th of June at the party, the Pride event. Friday, we had an all-day asada planned here at Cerberus House. And then Saturday, we as a pack, we're going to participate in the Pride March here in Mexico City. It was our first time doing that, and we were all excited. Everyone was excited. It turned out to be awesome. We really enjoyed it. My beta, previous Omega, they were not really present with us at that march. They had maintained their distance, and they were separate from us. I didn't like that. Even though we were having huge issues, I'm still willing to put that aside and participate with everybody at the march to make sure everyone felt included. We were one unit, we were one pack, and we were together. They had other plans. And I also must say that those two involved another pup in their bullshit and their drama as well. The three of them were, I don't know if they still are, and I don't care, were in a sexual relationship. This pup was new, barely 2 weeks into the pack, which, whatever, I'll reserve judgment for that, but oh well, whatever. So anyway, not only were they being assholes and not really participating with us, they had harangued this other pup, and I don't fault him because he's fucking them, they're all fucking. So his loyalty was misplaced, and it was with them, and that's fine. Again, I don't fault anything with that pup. He is no longer with us. He resigned voluntarily from the pack with a very nice, very adult, very mature message to me personally. And the way we left it with him, if his circumstances change, he is always welcome to come back and get back in touch with us. And, we'll see about if he would want to participate in the pack in the future. I don't think I would personally have an issue with that. I would absolutely need to consult with the board of directors about it, Consejo Directivo, because that would be, it was a very public and explosive event, between all of us, or whatever, conflict, I guess. So, I don't know why I'm drooling under this mask. What the hell? Dude. Anyway, it culminated in Saturday, the 27th of June. I removed the previous beta from the pack. I had already spoken to a candidate for beta. He had agreed. I explained everything that was going on. Not that it was any great secret, everyone was kind of aware of it. And he agreed to be my beta. It was something he wanted to do, and that was fine. And so we are now in that dynamic. We have that dynamic. It's a little bit different because we're not just friends, It's a little bit more involved, that dynamic. And I think that's going to be beneficial for the pack as a whole. He is absolutely the opposite of the previous beta. He's considerate, he's empathetic, he's sympathetic, something I don't really do much. But I'll work on it, I promise. Yeah, I'll work on it. He's sweet. He doesn't have a bad attitude, and he's not nasty. His personality is amazing. Love this guy. And I'm really excited for what we're going to do together as, the leadership of the pack. Another update, also have a new Omega, and we are in a different dynamic as well. I love that dynamic as well. I won't go into all the details, but it's a lot different than the previous dynamic, and I'm enjoying it. I really am. So I'm excited for that as well. So anyway, I removed the beta from the pack, of course, because the beta and the Omega were in a relationship. The beta attempted he swiped his husband's phone because I hadn't removed the Omega yet. I was still hoping that we could have some dialogue, but it was just escalating so fast and so far out of any kind of reparation. No one, other than me, was making any effort to just chill the fuck out for a minute. Let's put it on ice for a second, and we'll talk about it the next week. No, he kept pushing and pushing and pushing. So anyway, he had grabbed his husband's phone and used his phone to try to upload messages to the group, you know, disparaging me, of course, bad-mouthing me, trying to sling shit my way. Honey, I am fucking Teflon, okay? The way I interact with people, my personality, and the way I treat people, I'm Teflon. You sling all the shit you want. Not one bit of it's going to stick to me, okay? I take great pride in how I interact and treat my pups. Absolute pride. And you're not going to fuck with that, moron. So again, sorry, angry. Anyway, so it was painfully obvious I could not allow the Omega to remain in the pack because he was a risk to the pack. A risk to, you know, the groups. He would have access. I removed his access as well. This was Saturday, the 27th of June. Now, mind you, they're living in this apartment below me. I'm upstairs. Awkward. A little bit. But anyway, you know, whatever. I'm an adult. I can pass you in the hallway and not say a word to you or acknowledge you. I can ignore you. That's fine. Give you your space, whatever. Just fuck off. And I had let them both know I wanted them out of my space, out of my apartment, out of this building by the following Friday. I gave them an entire business week to get the hell out of my house, okay? They continued to escalate things. Not so much the Omega, because he's more of a pacifist. But that fucking ex-beta, he was a dickhead. He just couldn't let it go. He had to have the last word. He had to win every argument. And my thing is, you're not going to win with me because I simply don't care anymore. I'm not going to continue arguing over something that's just done. It's done. And when I'm done, dude, I am fucking done. There's no going back. Or in Spanish, no hay marcha atrás. No hay. No way. There's no going back. We've gotten to that point. We've all crossed those lines. There is just no way going back. Sorry. We can move forward and maybe adapt to the new situation. Doubtful, you know, whatever. But there's no going back to the way it was before. That was damaged beyond repair. So I had given them a week to get out of my place, go somewhere else. I don't care where you go, just get the hell out of my place. Leave my appliances in the apartment, television, speakers, that kind of thing, microwaves, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Other than that, no ill will, just go, get out. So that wasn't good enough for the beta. He kept escalating things, and I had come down to retrieve some equipment from another pup of ours, and we got into a heated argument, and then he physically attacked me. That was the last straw. So I informed him, okay, you have until Wednesday now, not Friday. Friday is no longer a valid date for me. I want you out Wednesday, and I want you out Wednesday morning. And that is it. Because by Wednesday at noon, I will be going to the police with my contract signed. I will be returning with them so that they can fucking extract you from my personal space. Get the hell out of here. I'm done. I am done. Keep talking, and I will minimize that date even further, okay? I just done. I'm not interested in continuing to escalate things. And when you physically attack me, man, that puts you in fucking danger. I mean, it puts me in danger too, because I'm going to go to prison, and you're not fucking worth it, scumbag. So anyway, that was the agreement. I had his PlayStation, the beta's PlayStation, and his Switch upstairs in my living quarters. And I made the agreement. It wasn't really an agreement. I kind of blackmailed him, but whatever. I don't care. I wanted their hoods, which I purchased. I wanted their tails, which I purchased. You know, I wanted those returned to me. That property is mine. There weren't gifts, because I have an agreement with my pups in this pack. If I purchase you a hood, at some point, if you don't need that hood anymore, for whatever reason, please return it to me, and I will donate it to another pup that needs a hood. Because these things are fucking expensive, right? I mean, the average monthly salary in Mexico, minimum, is like 250 bucks. Okay, well, there goes this, These are already at a couple of $100. So anyway, I wanted those returned to me. That was very important to me. Not only because I wanted my property, it was just symbolic to me. I am removing your hood and your tail from this pack. You are gone. I want you gone. But I still have your hood on display here in Cerberus House, and it will remain on display until I get bored with it, okay? Right now, it entertains the absolute shit out of me. Is that petty? Absolutely. Absolutely it's petty. But guess what? Every once in a while, I deserve to indulge myself in a little pettiness, right? Kidding. I'm not a kitty. Anyway, so that was the agreement. It wasn't pleasant. None of this was pleasant. They decided, of course, to move out Tuesday night, during the night, because you're cowards, and they stole everything from this apartment. Let me backtrack for 1 second. When they did return my hoods and those tails, I did return that Nintendo Switch to the beta. I did inform him the PlayStation will be returned to you the day you leave, and I have keys in my hand, and I have done a walkthrough to make sure my equipment, stuff that I had in this apartment, remains in this apartment. And of course, he decided to sacrifice that PlayStation and abscond with all the stuff that was in my apartment. They left me with zero. They took everything out of here. No, they didn't take everything out of here. They left bed bugs and roaches. Yay! Another trauma. Anyway, I fumigated twice. Everything's cool now. They're gone. We can finally, and we're getting back to normal. Like I said, we did lose that one pup with this whole little dramatic episode. That's fine. We'll bounce back, and we already have, actually. We already have. We've gotten 4 new pups, 5. We have 4 potential other pups that are considering registering with the pack. So, I mean, we're fine. We will be fine, like we always have been. I am 100% just absolutely proud of my pups. We have always come together in a time of crisis or drama. We've resolved the situation. We've met it head on. And as a pack, we've moved forward. We're getting better. We're just better for each other. We're a stronger family unit. And we have empathy for each other. Empathy. Oh my God, let me tell you. That is the most important quality for me in a pup. Most important, empathy. If you have no empathy, this is not the pack for you. I don't want that influence in my pack. It's such an important quality. And come on, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. I'm not always empathetic. There's some times where I'm just in a bad mood or whatever. I'm in a shitty headspace. I'm not always empathetic. But guess what? After that act of not being empathetic, and I realized that I wasn't being empathetic, I go back to that situation or that person or that individual, I apologize, and then I reopen that dialogue with that person to amend whatever discourse or damage we had in that previous interaction. Because that's how I am. I have integrity. I'm empathetic. That's just it, period. So anyway, we've moved on. We have a new beta. He's awesome. Love this guy. I'm excited for what we'll be doing together. Cerberus House is being currently refurnished, remodeled. It's going to be better. It's going to be nice. It's not going to have that college dorm flop house feel to it, okay? We're a bunch of adults. Let's decorate as such. Okay, thank you very much. So yeah, I'm really excited for the future. This is going on 30 minutes now. I think I'll cut it here. I've bored everyone enough. We're getting back on track. I'm getting back on track with the podcast, On the Couch with Hades. In a next episode or a couple of episodes from now, I may or may not go into why my name is now Hades and not Ren. Ren is an old version of me, and I am no longer that version. I have a different personality and a different perspective, and I've learned a lot. Hades is just a natural progression for me on my journey as a pup. And I'm allowed that journey as well, right? So, there you go. What else is going on? We have some events coming up that I'm really excited for. We have a training session coming up for all the pups in the pack. We've got a homoerotic all-day festival coming up in August that I'm really excited for. I'm currently in negotiations with someone, a master of shibari, to work on doing some workshops here at Cerberus House on shibari, because that's something I'm just really interested in it. My interest has been real piqued on it. I don't really get it, and I don't know that it's something I really want to do, but I would like to get into it a little bit, explore it a little bit, and see if it is something I would like to continue to pursue. I do know there is quite a bit of interest within the pack in that activity in shibari. Also, we will be having some more workshops here. We're now, almost in August. So pretty soon, the holiday season will be here. So we're going to have, Halloween, Dia de Muertos, Christmas, posadas, all kinds of stuff coming up for the pack that I'm jazzed about. So yeah, that's the update. We're still here, alive and kicking. Just don't get in the way, because you'll be the one kicked. Just kidding. Maybe. What else? I guess that's about it. I won't bore you anymore. I will continue with the series on puppy play. I will also continue with the other series on, living in Mexico. I got plans going for that, always working on it. There is a huge change coming to the pack, probably not until January or spring of next year. And that's all I'll say about that. We're reinforcing our bylaws this year in the fall. The board of directors and I will be having a meeting and a vote on the updated bylaws. I'm excited about that. So we're really putting things into place not really to prevent bullshit from happening, because we are a bunch of gay guys. Come on, drama and bullshit. We love it. I love that for me. But like I said, not to prevent things from happening, but to act in a swifter manner, in a more democratic manner, and remove the situation as soon as possible. And that cannot be left only to me. I just cannot do that anymore. I'm getting better at it. I'm still a work in progress, so we'll see. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and if you're not doing something fun, at least I hope you're at home on the couch watching YouTube. Haha! Plug. No, not that kind of plug. Anyway, so, like I always say, in a world where you can be anything you want, be nice. Oh!